investigate shootings here in the capital and in Grand Bahama. Let's go down to Boom Bay summer, and it's Independence time. Are you wearing Bahari? Every great dream starts with a dreamer. It's Monday, time for a fresh start. I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Morning Edition. Now you know we gave you Independence clue in all of last week. Well, guess what? We have a winner. Chandrika Miller watches the Morning Edition every morning, and she got all 5 clues and in their correct order. Chandrika wins a weekend stay at Comfort Suites. Congrats to you, Chandrika. Our Independence clue-in continues this week to stay tuned and keep watching for those clues each day. Call our Charles Fisher Friday at 502-3880 with the clues for a weekend stay at Comfort Suites. Meanwhile, Affinity is responsible for the fabulous Independence wear that you see us wearing this morning. Thank you so much for our sponsors. Now we did our housekeeping. Let's go over to our sizzling weatherman, Basil Dean, who is standing by with the Bank of the Bahamas weather report.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
In our first look at weather, we have troughing across the Bahamas, and that's going to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms during the course of the day. All the details coming up later in the newscast. Meanwhile, the tropics remain quiet, even though we have this little tropical wave just to northern Leeward Islands. That is moving towards the west, but has no chance of development over the next several days. Outside of our studios, we had some recent thunderstorms under cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity 78%. The winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That's 29.98 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, we are picking up 81 degrees as we go back to our temperatures around this morning. 81 in Marshall, Babaco, Granville Key at 80 degrees. 81 in Freeport, Grand Bahama. In the Berry Islands, 82. 82 in Allenstown, Bimini. 81 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, 81 degrees. 81 in Samuel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 81s in San Salvador and Rum Key as we take you into Ragged Island. Those 81s continue. Clarence Down, Long Island, Crooked Island at 81. 80 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands at 80 degrees. Matthewtown, Unagua, 81, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your boating forecast for today in Northwest and Central Islands. The winds will be southeast to south, 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet. Low tide 6:17 this morning, high tide at 12:28 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Choppy seas in the southeast Bahamas at 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags up for boaters in the southeast Bahamas. And that's going to do it for your first look at Weather the Morning Edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. And now let's turn things over to Kelsey Johnson and Lyndon Smith, who are standing by with the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. I'm here on Shirley Street, not too far away from the Mackey Street intersection. Now, I can tell you we arrived here around about 6:30, and we saw an increased number of cars, but the traffic is flowing. It is a wet Monday, so we're advising all of our motorists to drive with due caution and care. Now, joining me live today is Sergeant Jerron Thompson, who will also answer the fun fact question, which is, can I run the red light or drive past the red light after midnight? But Mr. Sergeant Thompson, before we get to the fun fact question, what about these road safety tips for drivers riding or commuting this morning, especially on the wet roads?
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. For our motorists commuting on the wet roads this morning, we want you to be mindful of the friction value of the road for braking purposes. The road surface is wet, so you have to drive a bit slower, give yourself enough distance between other vehicles before so you can have adequate space to brake. Also, there are a bunch of puddles throughout the streets of New Providence this morning. We want persons to be mindful that your vehicle can possibly hydroplane. Hydroplane is when the vehicle tires would leave the road surface and be just riding on the water itself. For that to happen, you have to be speeding. So we want persons to Be mindful not to speed, because if your vehicle hydroplanes, then you wouldn't have any control of your vehicle in terms of braking or steering.
All right. And what about running the red light? I know the police must have a particular term for it. I know a lot of people believe that after midnight, they don't have to stay on the red light. Will I get a fine if I pass the red light after midnight if the light is on red?
Okay, the proper term is failing to stop in obedience to the traffic light. You will absolutely get a ticket running the red light at midnight. That is, despite popular belief on this myth that poisons would spread, with respect to 12 o'clock you could run the red light. That is an absolute no-no. Once you're caught, you'll be ticketed and you'll be before the courts.
All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Thompson. LaDawn, it is a wet Monday, so I'm going to toss it right back to you to make sure that Basil gives us a check on the weather.
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. Now on to our top story this morning. 2 men are hospitalized in serious condition after being shot on Grand Bahama early yesterday morning. Police say officers were called to a business on East Sunrise Highway shortly after 4 a.m. on Sunday after a lone male had opened fire, hitting 2 men. One of the males was shot in the upper body and the other male was shot in the lower body. The shooting victims were taken to the Rand Memorial Hospital by ambulance, where they remain. Police are actively investigating the incident and are appealing to members of the public with any information on the matter to call the Central Detective Unit on Grand Bahama at 350-3107, numbers 911-919, or your nearest police station. Police are also searching for the suspect involved in a shooting in the capital overnight that has left a man hospitalized. Police say the victim had been walking on Gibbs Corner shortly after 10 p.m. on Saturday when an armed man approached him and ran away. The injured man was taken to hospital by ambulance and is listed in stable condition. Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, recently addressed hundreds of urban renewal campers at a church service to commence the Urban Renewal Summer Camps. Minister Campbell said some encouraging words to the young campers.
The government of the Bahamas is very proud of you, as the scripture said, to bear fruit, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. The government of the Bahamas is relying on you to become those fruits. So we are here this summer to plant the seed. But the most important beatitude that we know you will leave here with is the golden rule. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you.
And a new Miss Bahamas teenager has been crowned. She is 12th grade student council president of St. Augustine's College, Amani Stewart. The 16-year-old future attorney beat out 5 other young ladies to capture the coveted title in front of a packed crowd at the Super Club's Breezes Resort. Amani stopped by our ZNS studios recently to tell us about her platform on the effects of social media and her big win.
I looked up and I got emotional immediately. I started to thank God because I knew how much work I had put into the pageant. I hugged my pageant sisters because we'd all worked so hard in this pageant journey, and I was just really, really thankful. I think it's so important to have a platform like that, especially with advancing technology today. I mean, we are so invested in our phones and social media, especially the younger generation. So I thought this platform was necessary, and I would host table talks to build self-confidence in the girls everywhere.
And what are you wearing on Independence Day? As for me, I'm wearing Bahari. All of that and more when we return right after this break.
I love the morning edition because I keep up with the sport.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Well, it's a popular signature event that attracts scores of residents and visitors every year during this time. On Russell Square, the city center came alive yesterday during the 46th annual Independence Beat Retreat. The Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force bands gave spectators a good showing. An exciting calendar of events has been prepared for this year's independence celebrations. Activities began on Friday with National Pride Day and will end on Wednesday with a grand concert on Clifford Park. Cat Island residents spent this weekend participating in Independence Day celebrations. Crystal Darling reports.
Rake and scrape culture, songs, and dance were at the forefront of this year's Cat Island Independence festivities. Cat Island residents flocked towards activities held in New Bight and Authorstown and shared with us what makes the way they celebrate Bahamian independence unique.
You know, we are the bedrock of rake and scrape, and all of the other stuff that was passed on to us from the ancestors, we still live that.
It's important for Cat Islanders because it brings us together as a community.
It really pushed the minds of the olden days, you know, what was the olden days. And from I like to see how we moving on because of celebrating independence means a lot, not only to me, to the Bahamian people.
We get to celebrate it great because, you know, like one time ago, you actually only used to have like the big celebrations in Nassau, but now it's going from island to island and we can celebrate it here.
More than 50 persons were honored over the weekend, including guest of honor Eris Munker, who attended the ceremony at the Cat Island Library and Resource Center's renaming to the Eris Munker Resource Center and Library. Saturday morning, an official honoring ceremony was held at the Cat Island Heroes Park, and Saturday night celebrations continued at the Cultural Village and Regatta site. Island Administrator Neil Campbell and Island Chief Counselor Omar Stubbs said that they are pleased with this year's crowd and anticipate a bigger and better celebration in 2020.
This is just a way to say that it's a homecoming festival in order to bring those Cat Islanders back home that haven't been home for a little while. We have thought it best to honor them and for those family members to come with them also. So we think it was very impactful. Most of all, we get to show the rest of the Bahamas what Cat Island is good for, a lot of the culture, a lot of the religious type aspect, really and truly who we are as Bahamians and what we offer the Bahamas and the rest of the world.
The work was very hard, hard coming. Shortly after we finish with this, we're going to start planning again so it could be better and greater for next year.
Independence events wrap up on Sunday evening with a church service. Reporting from Cat Island, I'm Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Thanks a lot, Crystal. One t-shirt company is keeping you in style this Independence. Find out who and where you can cop one of the latest design shirts in this report from Kelsey Johnson.
If you are headed to the beach this holiday or just want to show some Bahamian pride at work or during play, no matter the occasion, this year's Independence line offered at Bahari has you covered. The bright, bold colors of the Bahamian symbols are highlighted in this signature collection of dresses, swimwear, t-shirts, jackets, and dress shirts.
We're always inspired by Bahamian elements. This time you can see like a sand dollar on the pieces. We have flamingos, kind of our marquee thing in the brand, and a lot of other Bahamian elements that kind of represent the brand and what we stand for.
Is it hard not being repetitive and making sure that you stay in trend?
For sure. It's always a challenge to try and stay cutting edge, stay ahead of the game. Of course, we always find ways. We don't know how we do it. We always find ways to be exciting, be brand new.
With 6 years under their belt, the young growing company thought it fitting to expand the swimwear collection, adding some flip-flops and beach shorts to the Independence brand.
Swimwear is big for us. For example, we just dropped 10 new pieces about a month ago for season 19 of 2 pieces, so top and bottom. We were also known for a lot of one pieces, which we brought this year too for our Independence collection, and it's great. Of course, we live in the Bahamas. There's a lot of sun, there's a lot of beaches, there's a lot of holidays during the summertime too, so you're definitely going to need some swimsuits. You can dress it up on the beach, also has a bodysuit style, wear it with some pants. However, because it's pretty hot outside, you're going to need some swimsuits.
Kyle Williams, who is a part of the creative team at Bahari, believes that the Independence collection is fashion forward. He said the items are coming off the rack fast.
Of course, being Bahamian, Bahamians abroad, for example, people that when we travel, they also support the brand and they buy a lot of pieces from us and wear it year round, because when they go different places or wherever they go during the year, they want to show that they're Bahamian, they're prideful, and it's just a part of our culture, you know, so it's great, and we're happy to be able to provide a great product for this stuff.
And the colors that you have?
This year we have a white version and an aqua version of our shirts. Same with the swimsuits, same with the bodycon dresses for ladies that want to kind of dress up a bit more too. So we have 2 options per style. Also we have archipelago swimsuits. Our most famous design is the archipelago design that we brought in a swimsuit for this collection also. So it's great, and we have a bunch of color options. We have aqua, we have white, we have black, we have gold, so pretty much Bahamian color elements all around in the pieces.
Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Kelsey. It's Goombay summer down in Grand Bahama. Tourists and residents alike are enjoying the festivities. Jay Philippe reports.
The 2019 Goombay Summer Festival officially kicked off on Tino Beach with thousands of locals and also visitors all gathering for the summer explosion.
The Ministry of Tourism is at the forefront of this annual summer event, which attracts Grand Bahamians from as far as East End and West End. In speaking of visitors, sisters Brittany and Audrey visiting from Atlanta, Georgia, says the combination of food and fun so far is absolutely amazing.
The conch salad is incredible. The conch fritters are out of this world. We have just indulged ourselves in food, and we've enjoyed every minute of it.
We just got here and then saw the marching band, and it was really cool. And then they started doing like the limbo, so I decided to go up.
All the way from Manchester, England, for his very first time in the Bahamas, Joshua Horn says Goombay Summer Festival is the real deal.
It's my first time in the Bahamas, and again, first time to an event like this. It's pretty cool. It's so different to back home, but yeah, really enjoying it so far tonight.
Not to be left out, Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, says Goombay provides a great economic opportunity for Bahamians.
And I think that's the most important thing. We get to come together in a safe, secure environment to enjoy native Bahamian, Grand Bahamian entertainment, artisans, and to, as you say, sample some of the culinary delights from different settlements on the island. The crafts people are behind us are doing tremendous designs and artistic pieces that I'm sure that any Bahamian would love to have in their home.
Senate President, the Honorable Kay Forbes Smith, was taken in the festivities as well. She says she is a huge supporter of the cultural summer event.
I'm here every year. I think it's a great time for Grand Bahama, a great time for the tourists that come to the island. They do a very good job with the organization. It's fun, and the kids are here, they're out of school, it's something to do, so it's a great night.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Every day, ZNS News received calls from Bahamians in dire need of help for a number of reasons. This morning, we feature the story of a 10-year-old boy who was in the fight of his life after he was diagnosed with hereditary angioedema, a disease that causes severe swelling. With treatments costing $6,000 a visit, the young boy's mother says reaching out to the media for assistance was her final straw. Here's their heart-wrenching story. 10-year-old Tariq Miller has been battling the flares of hereditary angioedema for 7 long years. It's a disease that causes swelling for unknown reasons. His mother, Angelica Miller, says the disease was passed on to her son by his father's side of the family. Angelica reminisced on her son's first swelling episode.
His aunt called us and told us that Tariq
it's swelling up, and we was trying to figure out what she mean by swelling up. And when we reached to the house, it was like his mouth, his face was already spread, his eyes was already going down. So we took him to PMH, and when we took him to PMH, they said that it looks like an allergic reaction, which it was not an allergic reaction, but that's the first thing came to their mind. So after running tests constantly, they was trying to figure why is this little boy swinging up constantly, and they did not know.
Angelica decided to reach out to the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital and later discovered her son's condition. She says the disease has caused Tariq to miss classes at Aubrey Sale Primary School and experience other physical challenges.
It really plays a big role with him in school because it affects him, because whilst he's swell up, he can't be to school. His face swell up, he can't go to school. His hands swell up, he can't write. His foot swell up, he can't walk. So basically, it's been challenging, very challenging for him. Just his face or anybody, oh, mommy, I'm swell up again. He feels, in a way, he feels depressed sometimes, but sometimes he stays strong. And that's why I love his spirit a lot, because he doesn't let him keep him down. He doesn't let it fear him. He doesn't let him be like, okay, I can't be a normal child. He still acts like a normal child.
Every visit to the United States for medical treatment, Tariq has to dish out some $6,000, funds his family simply does not have in their possession. The bashful 10-year-old encouraged Bahamians to come out and support his cookout on August 10th and water drive on July 27th.
We used to do a water drive or cookout to raise funds for my medication.
Official, we're looking outstanding in our Affinity T-shirts this Independence Week.
I wanted to bring my camera on set because I know GQ will want a picture of this to put on the cover of their magazine for next month with you and I, but I couldn't bring it on, so I'll do that tomorrow. But coming up in sports, it was a big weekend in terms of track and field, also in terms of cycling, and also in terms of flag football.
That and more ahead in sports.
Good Monday morning to all. Our under-17 girls team, that's the basketball team, putting a beating on El Salvador 79-59 to win their opener at the Central Basket Tournament in Puerto Rico. Head coach Pharrell Davis liking the whole team effort.
Very first came out, we started a little slow. I think that's because they were a little nervous. But as the game progressed, I think they got better and better. I'm very proud of them because they actually run the set plays properly. The defense was on par tonight. And then the bigs play extremely well for us. I'm very proud of them. They show poise, patience, what I've been asking for a very, very long time. And I really love how they run through the plays. I mean, up, high, low, go. I mean, we're perfectly with our big man. So I'm very happy. I'm very proud to win.
Antonisha Moultrie led the 2-4-2 with 14. Michelle Butler chipped in with 12. Rima Collins with 11 points and 15 boards. Antonika Lightborn, she added 9.
I played very well. I could have done better, but the most important part is that we got the win. Well, I expect us to win the gold medal. I think we're doing very well so far, and we have a good start. I don't feel anything, but I just know that we have to stay focused and just focus on getting the W.
Bahamas Flag Football Ladies Championship matchup is all set. The Centerville Caribbean Liquor Store Hawks took their aerial show against the Marlins to pull away big and set up a matchup with the Paradise Games Wildcats.
The defense was only rushing two. So once they gave me enough time in the pocket with my horses, what I like to call my power receivers, I could always hit them on a long ball. I have two pretty good running backs. We didn't run as much as we wanted to today, but we really didn't have to. So we did what we came to do. Like I told my coach before the game, I played this game 1,000 times in my head this week, and there was no way I was coming out here with a loss. No way.
Bahamas Football Association League beach soccer season wrapped up Sunday at the beach soccer site. 3 weeks of play ahead of this weekend's big Bahamas Cup proved to be quite interesting.
Well, you know, the league has been good for the 3 weeks. We've been out here, very competitive. Any given day, any team can win, and we all out here fighting hard to win the league. And it's very fun that some of the players of the national team are mixing and playing with other clubs, and it makes the game very fun and competitive.
Now, don't forget to join me on the OT this morning at 9 o'clock on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM. We'll be talking independence, the top sports moments since 1973. Call in and give me your points.
In our final look at weather, troughed across the northwest Bahamas, that's going to trigger pockets of showers and thunderstorms during the course of the day. But in the tropics, we have this tropical wave near the northern Leeward Islands that's moving toward the west, but development is not anticipated over the next few days. The forecast for today calls for partly cloudy conditions. There will be a few sporty showers and thunderstorms, as we told you already, in response to that mid-level trough. The high temperature today getting up to about 88 degrees. And tonight we're looking at partly cloudy again with 1 or 2 late-night showers developing. 79 degrees for your low temperature. Your extended weather forecast looking like this. A few showers lurking around as a result of that trough right into Wednesday, but things should start clearing out by Thursday, heading into the early part of next week and the weekend. Dawn?
Thanks, Basil, and that's a wrap for us today. Make sure to join us tomorrow when we continue our Independence Clue-In. Tune in and look for the clues in each morning's edition's newscast up to July 26 and be the winner of a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Once again, we would like to thank Gardenia Celebrations for decorating our set with the Independence balloons. Make sure to join us on Wednesday, Independence Day, when we go for 1 hour. And just before we go, we would like to say happy birthday to Patrice Pinder and Vince Gator, our colleagues here at the Broadcasting Corporation. Once again, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day.